You come with questions in mind?
Hi, I'll go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. My name's Shamonti. I found Zen Bitch Lab via one of my old spiritual teachers, Brent Spirit. I don't know if anyone here knows of him. Anyway, like I've got a bit of an addiction myself to computers and stuff. But my question really today was just like, what is non-duality? Like, I see a lot of YouTube channels about spiritual teachers talking about non-duality, but I never really got what it meant. So yeah.
Well, it's really, this is my take on it, which is it's just meaning not to. Yes. So it's a negation of things that are assumed to be going on and assumed to be so. You find out what's so, you can't know it because there's a little trick in the whole thing. You are it, yes? So the only way to really get a sense of what you are is by seeing what you're not. So the movement of the message is a negation of duality, yeah? So non-duality is incomprehensible, obviously a mystery. It's not a thing, it's not located anywhere I can imagine, but you can describe what we're not. So as a great Zen master, Huang Po, said, whatever can be perceived, like right now, cannot be that which is perceiving. So non-duality would be that which is perceiving. Yeah, the thing that's being perceived is not that which is perceiving. When you listen to the head has that which can be perceived is as you, and that you is what's perceiving. So it's completely contrary to the message of this master Huang Po. And so that previous message of taking ourselves to be something that we're not is what gets negated. And what's found out is non-duality. Yeah. So where do you negate what you're not from what you are? Do you know it? No, you can't know it. Does what you're not know it? No, it can't know it. It can't understand it. It can't experience it. It can't get it because you are it. You are the being of it. You are not the knower of it or the experiencer of it or the seer of it. You're the being of it. So non-duality is not two. And really, if you look at duality on a personal level, it would be called dualism. And the dualism is this feeling of being a subject and of an object. So you're having a subjective experience, but it's being attributed to an object by the mental activities. Yes, that's what's negated. So that's my take on it. There's no definition of non-duality other than a negation of duality. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. It's very interesting.
Yes. Well, that's how I see it right now. So it's very important in a way because in sharing this message, it became obvious after a while that the biggest obstacle of the message is that which is thinking it's hearing the message, which is the idea of being the hearer of the message. So basically, we're not trying to get the message to you. We're trying to get it through you, almost as an obstacle. Now, if you are taking yourself to be the perceived, I can perceive that perceived can't reach that far. It's not going to encompass everywhere at all times. So all I got to do is miss you, and I feel like the message gets sent to the correct address. Yeah. So this is we're not trying to share a message or an understanding with you. The message and the understanding is about a you, really. It's not for a you. So if you see or you learn about a you, you may come to a conclusion you're not that. Yeah. Now, who is it that comes to the conclusion? There is no who, but there's a coming to a conclusion that you're not that. Yeah. And then now non-duality has worked. Yes, it's negated the duality. It doesn't destroy it or vanquish it or make it disappear. You just see it. Instead of looking from it, you see it. You see it from what you are, and it informs you what you're seeing is what you're not. Really, it's pretty clear. And satsang is just a way of supporting that. And you never know when the message is going to get through the obstacle of you. So we come to the firing range 5 times a week. We can't miss the dummy. So yeah, we just keep on firing. So yeah, that's the sense of it. And so the sense would be a direction. The assumption is from great masters like Ramana Maharshi that the greatest mystery here is that reality is wanting to attain reality. Yeah. Now that would make absolutely no sense to reality, but Paul wanting to attain reality makes a lot of sense to Paul. Yeah. Jim wanting to attain reality makes a lot of sense to Jim. Mary wanting to attain reality makes a lot of sense to Mary. But Mary ain't Mary. Mary is AKA reality. Jim is AKA reality. And therefore, Jim and Mary and everyone else, everything that's been named gets caught in that net of the greatest mystery, reality wanting to attain reality. Yeah, beautiful. Other ones say it, the seeker is the sought, which compresses time and space, doesn't it? Usually, the way it's read is there's a seeker and a sought. Yeah. Let's say the sought is the object of the seeking of the seeker. Yeah. So the seeker and sought, which would be another dualism, another duality, subject, object. And yet the message is the seeker is the sought, which compresses time and space to an immediacy. Yeah.
So, Paul, can you explain what you mean by the seeker is the sword?
Sought, S-O-U-G-H-T. I better
Yeah.
spell it because people
Yeah.
think I'm saying sword or something. So there's a famous statement, the seeker is the sought. Yeah. When many of us in our spiritual pursuits, we've played the role of the seeker, and then there was the sought, S-O-U-G-H-T. Let's call that truth or transcendence or Buddha nature or whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
But there was a seeker taken to be us, and then there was a sought. Maybe it was knowledge or whatever. But the message is the seeker is the sought, not as the seeker, but as what's actually there. Yeah. So what's actually there is the seeing, and the seeing is being used to seek, let's say, the seeing. Yeah. Don't you see the absurdity of it?
A bit.
Yeah, that's all. If you come, it's gonna land more. Yeah. Another famous saying by this guy Huang Po. He was giving a talk, and what's beautiful about Huang Po in the history is that you didn't wait 300 years of translations to get what he said. One of his people that saw him quite a lot was a scribe for the emperor's court. So he wrote down this talk after the talk was heard by him. So he got it right, coming right out of the horse's mouth. And one of the famous sayings from him is, you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. You can't use mind, big M mind, to seek mind. You can't use light to seek light. Now, no one probably feels like they're doing that, right? So it sort of sounds like a weird admonition, like I'm not doing shit, you know? I'm just sitting here meditating and trying to listen to get something, yeah? But he was seeing it as, and then of course, let's say he's looking at 500 different people, but he doesn't see them as 500 different people, I don't believe, or he wouldn't have said that. He sees them as the Buddha. So he's trying to talk through Bill to the Buddha. He wasn't trying to get to Bill. Bill was seen as the obscuring of the Buddha in this little, and Bill, aka the Buddha, was using Buddha unbeknownst to Bill to look for Buddha. Yeah. Bill's using mind, big M mind, to look for mind. Bill is using light to seek light. And he said, you can do this for eons and nothing's ever going to happen. Yeah. So the assumption I feel in that statement is you are the Buddha. You're not in the act of becoming the Buddha, or you have forgotten you're the Buddha and now you have to remember. No, you are the Buddha, no matter what the hell is going on the surface or in the puppet show. It doesn't define the space of the whole event. So you are the Buddha, you are light, you are mind. Yeah. And maybe if you hear it, you could be able to tell the truth about Bill, aka Bill, has been using, let's say, Buddhism to look for the Buddha. It makes, oh, that sounds great. But there would be a problem if Bill was the Buddha, because then the Buddha would be disguising itself by looking for itself through Buddhism. Yes, this is what a warning, basically. And hopefully the warning fits like a shoe. And if the warning fits, wear it and see what happens. Yeah. And I'm going to read something I did the other day, which has a lot of what we're trying to speak of right now in it. Have you ever heard of a guy named Nisargadatta Maharaj? I'm not talking.
Yeah, I've read his book. I'm that.
All right. So yeah, famous. And it wasn't his book, really. Someone wrote it. Yeah. First it went into French and then it was into English. Yeah.
Okay.
He says this, what beautiful thing. So now I did this on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday, whenever the last talk was. Let's listen to this right at the beginning as an action figure. Okay. So see how the action figure reacts to hearing this message. So nothing you do, you as the action figure, will change you, for you need no change. Yeah. You, what you're not, listen to it, may change your mind or your body, but it is always something external to you that has changed, not yourself. Yeah. Why bother at all to change? Yeah. Nice question. Realize once and for all that neither your body nor your mind, now it's not saying you realize, because that's the last thing you want to happen. Is realizing, yeah, from mind, not from mind appearing as Bill, but from mind. Realize once and for all that neither your body nor your small m mind, not even your consciousness, is yourself, and stand alone in your true nature, beyond and before consciousness and unconsciousness. Yeah. No effort can take you there. So there goes your relevance, yes? As an action figure. No effort can take you there. In other words, using the action figure to find what you already are is the wrong vehicle in this event, yes?
Yep.
No effort can take you there, only the clarity of understanding. Yes, here you go. So what is the clarity of understanding about? It's about the misunderstandings we're living from, yeah? The clarity of understanding is the light that shows the understandings that we're having, the misunderstanding, and maybe not in the understanding, but on the idea of who has or who is understanding. That's where the greatest misunderstanding is. That's what triggers the greatest mystery. Reality being understood as Paul, yeah, is the greatest misunderstanding. So no matter
what do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that? The idea, reality, wanting to attain reality, there must be a misunderstanding if
Okay.
reality is wanting to attain reality. Why would it ever try that? So that the misunderstanding is reality, the I am, the existence, is being attributed to a body and to a long-lasting, independent, separate idea of an entity called Paul. That's the misunderstanding. Paul doesn't, I don't care how many misunderstandings Paul has. I don't care about that. That's the misunderstanding we're speaking of in non-duality. Yeah. So this is the clarity of understanding, to see the misunderstanding that precedes all the understandings that you think you have or don't have. Yeah? That you are going to, and I'm not speaking you to, obviously, you individually. I'm talking to the you of the whole group. Yeah. Every time I start having a conversation with a person, that's over in about the first 20 seconds. Then it's just speaking, yeah, to something bigger. Yeah. Yeah. People are sitting there for 20 minutes thinking, I'm not talking to you or with you right then. Yeah. So yeah, this humbly is what I believe is what the clarity of understanding brings about, the recognition of the misunderstanding, which is it's you. Yeah. You that's misunderstanding, or you that's understanding. That to me is the greatest misunderstanding. Yeah.
Interesting.
And this is what
Thank you.
non-duality negates. It negates it. It doesn't have to destroy it because it's only an appearance. Yeah. It has never, and it never will become so. It can seem to be so to us. It can appear to be so, but it never reaches the crescendo of being so. Yeah. There's only one or none or zero or everything that's being so, and that's our reality or the reality. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to finish this. Okay. So no effort can take you there, only the clarity of understanding. Wow. So the clarity of understanding is there's nothing that's needed to take you there, isn't it? All the theirs are seen not to be necessary because you're here. On having never left is the clarity of understanding. It's not the clarity of understanding arriving. It's the clarity of understanding after arriving on having never left. That's the understanding, clarity of understanding. So trace your misunderstandings. Yeah, I humbly believe that's what we do here, really, tell you the truth, is trace your misunderstandings and abandon them. That is all. Yeah. See, this is the hard part, because the most influential misunderstanding is wedded as us by the act of being identified. So what we're listening to is always in the act of being identified as that misunderstanding. Therefore, you can abandon every other understanding. It's very difficult to abandon that misunderstanding because you're taking yourself to be that. Yes? So you'll be busy abandoning all these understandings while not abandoning the most influential misunderstanding, the idea of you. Yes. So that's what happens when people say they've surrendered, they're still there. Yeah. When I use the word abandon, I've had experiences when we used to have cheap cars running around San Francisco, and then we would get into an accident running into a tree, and we would get out and abandon that car. And because it wasn't us, we didn't even look back. We just left it. I don't think you can abandon what you're taking yourself to be as that what you're taking yourself to be. I just don't see it happening. Yeah. So there is nothing to seek and find, for there is nothing lost. Relax and watch the I am. It's on constantly. You can't, it's the longest running show here. It's been syndicated forever. Relax and watch the I am. The existence, yes? The sense of existing. Reality is just behind it. Keep quiet. Keep silent. Now, we talked about this the other day. Quiet and silent aren't the same thing, are they? You can have people who are totally crazy and they're keeping quiet. That's not silence. Silence is something else, yeah? So it will emerge, or rather it will take you in, yeah? Now, I don't like that depiction of merging. I don't believe you can merge in what you already are, but whatever, yeah? So there.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Truly. Yeah. Who knows? I could be, 5 seconds away from an asylum, just see if the shoe fits. If the shoe fits, wear it. Sooner or later, we talk about this a lot, and for everyone here and for the people new, there is a knowledge that's different than the knowledge that's acquired. Yes. It's even different than the knowledge that's acquired through experience or learning from yourself and from others, or from books, or from the feet of a master. There's a knowledge that's before all of that, what we call knowledge. And that knowledge is like a knowing that's quite, but it's not an aspect of a knower, it's an aspect of the being, yeah? See, so there's knowledge which has the aspect of the knower of the knowledge, but there's an other knowledge that it's an aspect of being, yeah? There's such an assurity of its own nature that it's a knowledge before knowing anything. And so I met a great deliverer of this message, Ramesh Balsekar, when I was younger, when he was pretty old. And he was speaking to me because I was the new person that day. And he was talking about, he was trying to get this message across by talking about, do you have a house? Do you have a place to live, Paul? And I said, yes, I do. When, back in America, he says, when you go to work, do you have to chant, I have a house, I have a house, I have a house? I said, no. Does if you stay longer at work than you usually do, are you more apt to forget that you have a house? No. If you go on the road and work, makes it easier to forget you have a house? No. I have a knowledge. I know I have a house. Being at work in a different location doesn't dispute that. I don't have to keep remembering I have a house because there's a knowledge of it. That's not a surface knowledge that has a lot of remembering and forgetting. It's a knowing on another level, yes? And it was a beautiful way of talking about the idea of me taking myself to be a personal presence, and then the impersonal presence of my nature, which is pulsating this knowledge. So this is really, when this starts to have influence, the idea of believing that you have forgotten what you are and you need to remember what you are seems as an insane absurdity. It just does, yeah? Yeah? Yeah, so I hope we can get the intimacy of that, because I'm sure a lot of us have felt it already. So it's easy to tickle it because you've been tickled by it, yeah? So, but it's a sense of knowing that doesn't have an opposite. It's not a knowing and an unknowing, yeah? It's something other than that. And I feel it's really the basis of traveling lighter here as what you're not. Yeah, and this is one of the great byproducts of non-duality, is that which you wish but could not produce on your own, you see being done through you, yeah? And then there's great gratitude and awe for what's going on, because you're not seen as a source, S-O-U-R-C-E, not S-A-U-C-E, a source. Even though I'm hoping a sauce is being made tonight. You're not seen as a source, you're seeing more as an effect. You're not seeing yourself as a driver, you're seeing yourself as a driven on an action figure level. And I think that's the most appropriate stance. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. So anyone else, Mike?
Anybody else want to raise their hand? Teresa's raising her finger. Hi, Teresa.
Okay,
Finger
can you hear
hand
me?
will do. Yeah.
Can,
As
you
long
can
as
hear
it's
me?
not the middle finger, it's okay. Yes. All right.
Okay. Hi, this is my first time here, and I want to thank you because I've been really wanting to be in satsang again. Haven't had it around me for a while. I've been meditating all my life since I was a teenager, and I know a lot of wonderful teachers, many of them that you've been talking about, and I understand what you're saying. And I know the knowing. I've always called it knowingness in my life. Called it the knowingness, and when I'm there, it's hard to describe. But there's like a nothing, but a everything, and just like well, anyway, I can't really describe it, but I know what it is. I know it. So today was a different experience for me. I was walking with my dog in a fresh air, and it went much deeper, and it was the first time where I really could be in the place or in the knowing that I am not my body, on top of the deeper awareness of who I am. It was like, I'm not my body, I'm not this Teresa. And there was a little bit of a confusion there, like not confusion, I understood it, but just kind of, I guess, an integration to let that settle down into me. And I wondered, when a person has that and it's getting integrated, is it common for the body, the physical, to like, I often have a lot of trauma in the family life, like around me, stress. So that happened today, a lot of stress. I was able to really maintain and not engage and be silent. And then after the walk, I had that happened. And then when I came back, the body really did this big release and like a meltdown. And I wondered if this was common as this deepening happened, that the body will sort of, I could feel like my cells kind of shaking, and then there was this big release. And I haven't lost or forgotten the knowingness, but I guess I just want to understand if this is common. And I feel like, I guess I'm sort of, I don't know, integration is the word? I don't know. It doesn't make much sense.
Well, I think it's common for some people. I don't think it's nothing is necessary unless it's necessary, so to speak. Yeah. So a lot of people get shook up, and that's actually more for the action figure. Yeah. Than anything else, because let's say the action figure has stored a lot of pastness and other stuff, and it needs to get someone has to open the trunk and take out the shit in there. Yeah. And so sometimes it goes through a shakedown or something, cathartic events. You have, let's say, rich sadness and stuff like that. There's a lot of things. And then if you notice that you tend to seem to be more relaxed and you're traveling lighter over a period of time. Yeah. So to me, it's more like you're on an operating table, you don't get up and you don't play doctor, and things go well. Yeah.
I have noticed that a lot, where I'm things that I would have reacted to quite differently. I'm not now. I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
There's a kind of a, okay, okay, this, okay, that, okay, yes, you think this, okay, like there's kind of this, feel like nothing sometimes, like it doesn't matter, but not in a bad way, in a good way, like just it doesn't
yeah.
matter, everything doesn't matter, sort of.
So those are like the
Anyway,
experiences and the interpretations of traveling lighter as the action figure. Yeah. So for that sometimes to go, some heaviness has to be shook
thank
off
you.
because of it's a dualistic event here. Yeah. So sometimes for the light to be approached, or there's got to be a dropping or shaking of the heaviness. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's essential, but like if it's needed to happen, it probably will. But I don't, and ultimately, I don't think anything's needed to happen. And I don't like the idea of my idea of integration would be the content is seen as the content and the context is seen as the context. Yeah. I don't believe that the content is taken as the context and then its idea of the context is a content it wants to integrate into its idea of context.
Oh, I understand what you mean. I
Yes.
understand. It's not, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right?
So in the wrong way. So I feel there's a context that's unwavering and solid, and that's where that knowingness would be. And then there's the content, which is experience and interpretation and expression and stuff like that. And there's a lot of change that can go on in the content. Yes, that may have
Yes.
be greatly influenced by the context, but the context isn't changing. Yeah. Yes. So I don't like the word integration much, but hey, whatever works for
Yeah, I
you.
meant like getting used to it, sort of getting
Oh
used to
yeah,
it,
yeah.
you know.
Action figure, really, if you took the name and form off it, it would do probably a lot better. You'd be surprised what it can get adapt to and accept. Yeah. Yeah. It's just
Good.
with that managing firm up on top, that's a real
I know, and it has been so strong for so many years. It's just been anyway, got it.
yeah, and
Thank you.
still, no matter how strong it is, it doesn't change a thing. See, this isn't about something, it's not about that which you're not changing. It's about seeing that which you're not from the unchanging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of people here like the course, and there's a lesson in the course where they talk about, the attack thoughts are attacking your invulnerability. That knowingness of invulnerability brings a lightness, not the changing of everything that's going on, because making heavy into light is only going to invariably attract heavy again. Yes, that's the alchemy of duality doesn't work. You always get stuck with the opposite. Yeah, but this is different. This is a different take. So there's an assurance in that which is non-changing that allows you to have assurance in the uncertainty of that which is always changing.
Yeah.
Instead of wanting one to be what it cannot be, you see it from what you are, and there's more of an acceptance and a peace that comes about, not a conflict or a trying to categorize and change and do this. Yeah. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, great. I'm happy to see you, Kathleen. I'm happy you came tonight.
Teresa.
Oh, Teresa. And I'm also the Kathleen. I think it's applicable to everyone here. That's how I feel. But thank you for sharing, Teresa. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Teresa. And
Yes.
Thank you.
Bruce is coming out of the dark.
Bruce.
There it is.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
I can't make it work. I'll be right there.
We hear
We
you.
can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. I'll be right there. Oh, Christ. Yeah, just a moment of thanks. It's like word for word. Been like a seeing of this message passing through me, the idea of me. So not that I'm looking for anything to do with that, other than share it with all of us. So thanks again, man. It's quite. Okay. Thanks again, Paul.
Thanks, Bruce. What would a night be without hearing from Bruce? A Bruceless night. I don't want to have a Bruceless night. Thank you, Bruce. Any other of the new people, if they like? You're not new. You've all been around the block probably thousands of times. Yeah. Yeah. I see someone's hand up. Yes. Irene? Nice to see you, Irene. You see her, Mike? Irene Martina.
Not
She's
yet.
right next to Teresa.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She's muted. There we go.
She's in exalted company. She's got a new and Teresa right there.
Well, Teresa's actually my biological sister.
Wow.
Oh yeah, wow.
Hey,
Fantastic.
Teresa. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles. She's in Iowa.
Oh
and,
wow. Great.
And we actually have a third sister, Joan, who is not here tonight, but the three of us discovered you around a year ago. And we've been watching your videos and sharing between the three locations, Joan's in Canada. And we're very, very much enjoying the knowledge that you share with us. I don't have anything to say other than thank you. And
Great, thank you.
just, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. That falls under the keep silent. Mum's the word when it comes to that. Great, yes.
You've got a popularity with sisters.
That's good.
Sister groups. Kathleen and Julie.
Oh, great. Yes. Well. All right, anyone. Thank you. Thank you, Irene and Teresa. And say hello to Joan when you get to see her.
It was actually her who found you. So we often thank her for finding you for us.
Oh, fantastic.
Adds to our list of non-duality teachers. So we're very grateful.
Oh, great. All right, good. Thank you.
Where in Canada is she from?
Well, we're all from a little village up in Quebec. Teresa, can I say where you are? That's cool. Teresa's in Iowa. I'm in Los Angeles, and Joan is still up in Canada in Quebec, on the border of Ontario and Quebec. So we're all Canadians and just chilling around the planet.
That
I enjoy-
Canadian you have to do.
When you speak of the course, I studied, when I first came here about 13 years ago, I studied with Ken Wapnick.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In Temecula for many years before he passed. And that was wonderful teaching. So the course is, every time you speak of the course, it feels very much a resonance.
Oh, good, good. Yeah. I usually go to the same paragraphs. I haven't, but you know, one avalanche can be enough. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Well, great. Thank you, gals. And I hope I see you again. Yeah. You're always welcome. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. All right, Mike. Anyone else?
Anybody else? Oh, we got Grateful Dave. Hi, Dave.
Grateful Dave.
Hey, Paul. Hey, Mike. Thanks for helping out tonight. And yeah, everyone's being quiet. I just want to share a little something that happened this evening. I laid down to take a nap. I don't get that often. I got kids running around. And you know, they were being loud. There was not a lot of napping going on. I have a dog jumping in bed with me. I got, you know, kids coming in and out. And I was laying there and I was annoyed and I was passing a little bit into the dream space where the head kind of gets, you know, it starts having these weird thoughts and visions. And I was getting annoyed at the same time. So that was happening, right? And I was looking at these thoughts that are passing in my head and I'm thinking, who the hell is thinking these goddamn thoughts? Because it's not me. I'm just trying to lay here relaxing. And then even the uprising of the frustration, I could just see clearly I wasn't doing any of this, you know.
Yes.
It was real interesting in that in between dream space. It just became really clear that this mind, it just does its own thing. It just went on and on and on with, you know, fears and thoughts and just like the greatest hits, like you say, of what's going on in my life right now, extrapolating little crazy scenarios. This person's doing this and maybe that. And I just was laying there in this, really seeing it, you know, from from another perspective, I guess, you know. So
Well, yeah, we're always seeing it. And then there can be another perspective, but the seeing is always from the same source, yeah, which is the awareness.
yeah, I wish I could say I felt that more often. I often, you know, still feel I am that, you know, but
Yeah, but wouldn't it be wonderful if you heard the good news that you will be feeling it more often?
yeah, it's getting there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Exactly. And after a while, the idea of more and less gets a little bit null and voided. Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's the seeing can become in a silent way so pronounced, it gives you, it doesn't matter what perspective arises about it. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're trying to say earlier with this idea of the knowingness or whatever. It doesn't, it's nice when it's matched with a clearer perspective than usual. Yes.
Right.
With a, like when the hand of seeing goes out into the world and puts the glove of knowing in, it's nice if with a good perspective, but the seeing is the whole basis of it all. Yeah. The awareness. So everything that has ever been brought into consciousness was brought into consciousness through awareness, the awareness. Yeah. And sooner or later that starts, instead of having, you know, event more or less of awareness, you know, there'll be there'll be another seeing of the more or less, and there'll be more emphasis on awareness. Yeah. And just like we used to use the idea of, you know, there is an awakeness, or let's say awareness is the fact. And then here we can feel like we're more or less awake. Yeah. Or we can feel like we're not awake. But it doesn't change the awakeness. Yes. This is the point. This is that knowingness. All the changes do not make anything so. They appear on a surface, yeah, as a reflection, so to speak, but underneath it all is that awareness. And that's going to rub on you sooner or later or more. Yeah. Yeah. And therefore, yes, you'll see the whole procedure of having a better view or a worse view, but the light precedes it all. Yeah. And the light is light. Yeah. And here it's nice for like, it's better to have like a driving glove if you're on the wheel than a snow parker glove. Yeah. So it's nice to have an understanding that allows this thing to sort of have some sway, but the real vision is the seeing, is the awareness that allows everything that ever has come up, has allowed it all, and has no dog in the hunt. It's so past our understanding. Yeah. That's why I love negation, because trying to understand what's not understandable, it seems like an insane fucking occupation. When you can just turn that same seeing to what can be seen, because you're not going to see the awareness. It's not going to happen. You're not going to know. You're not going to get it, but you can see what you're not. Yeah. Or there can be a seeing of what you're not with awareness. Yeah. So this is the beauty of the message, not only the non-duality, but the movement of it, which is negation, just works thoroughly. It's just a seamless presentation. Yeah. And that knowingness, even here, as time progresses, it will override the finiteness of things by its infinite influence, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. The idea is that you remember and forget will lose weight after a while. Yeah, and there'll just be that knowingness of, like he said here, you know, the relax and watch the I am. Yeah, exactly. The I am, obviously, yeah. It's not coming or going or getting bigger and smaller. It's an ever-present existence that it's just ringing the bell every moment, not in the moment, you know, as the timelessness. The influence of the timelessness can be found in every moment. That silence of that can be heard in every moment, because they're all of that timelessness. Yeah. And then there's an appearance of time on the surface. Yeah. It's not saying you can't, you have, you know, that's where the waves are. We're in a life where we're riding waves. Yes. And we were talking about it a while ago, about a wave. A wave, if you've ever surfed or bodyboarded or body surfed or surfed, usually you can see the wave. Yeah. And then you try to get in a right position to meet the wave. And then it only takes a very little effort. You may paddle once or twice, and then while you're paddling, you feel the momentum of the wave take over. You can feel it. So you stop paddling, and now you're riding the wave. Yeah. Yeah. So that paddling is going to get less and less, and there's going to be more knowing and the sense, and there'll be more of a feeling of riding a wave. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
funny when you talk about there's that tendency of the self, the action figure, as you say, to want to see. It's like a dog with no tail chasing its tail. There's no tail to be chased, but there's a tendency inside to, like, you know, I want to see the face of God, you know, and then you realize, how can you see the face of God when you're looking through it, you know?
Well, that's right. See, so therefore, that desire not pledged allegiance to will be quite valuable, because you'll see the emptiness of it and the impossibility of it. Instead of leaving room for doubt, you'll be convinced. you're never going to get it, which is going to affect these like sort of parades getting ready for the next launch of achievement. You know, you just lose all interest in all that. Yeah, because you realize you're not. It's sort of like you heard about that great party, but every time you get there, it sucks. You just realize you're not going to overcome that equation. So yeah, it's quite a relief, really. It really is. It's quite a relief. Can you imagine that something that's not equipped at all is always, the head is always trying to prepare it for the transcendent moment? It doesn't know what to pack or whatever. It has no freaking idea what the head's up to. It's just looking for another cushion for the chair. You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell? I just wanted to sit, not for 13 hours. You know what I mean? What the hell's going on? Why am I only having soup at 11 in the morning for the whole day?
It wants to be exalted. It wants,
Of course it does.
Mm.
It wants to be there to experience its own absence. That's how stubborn it is. This is what gets me when people call me up and they said they've disappeared for the last few weeks. I said, well, who's telling me that? That's what I like to see disappear, is the one who's telling me they disappeared. You lose interest in it. You're not interested if you're appearing or not. You're not. You don't. It doesn't, you're not, if someone says, how do you feel? It's a surprise. You're not checking your pulse every second. You're just engaged with what's happening. Yeah. It's like you're consumed by a good book, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I'll tell you, yeah, well, I'm just so happy to be here and to talk with you, Grateful Dave, and just share the space with everyone. Really,
Thanks.
there's a lot of potency with our imagined collectiveness. Yeah. All right, Mike. Anyone else?
Yes, Lynn D.
Oh, Lynn. Yes. Where is she?
I dropped my phone. So a thought came to me when I heard you, like I've heard you say many times before, you see what you're not. And then I thought of how many years you've been saying that. And it occurred to me to ask you, do you still see what you're not or not?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
It
I
has
also,
it has an incredible amount of comedic value. Why would I want to lose that entertainment channel? It's better than the Daily Show. If you ever remember the Daily Show.
oh, I watch it every night.
Oh yeah, it was quite funny. Yeah. Of course, it's the greatest reminder. Yeah, most people can't be reminded from what they are, but you can be reminded by what you're not. Yeah, you see what you're not, and there you go. Yes. So yeah.
So today I was,
Seeing it is much different than following it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just curious if it had, I guess, whatever. I don't even know why.
I would say the bunching of thoughts, there's been a lot more separation in the thought herd, so to speak. Yes. Instead of seeing like a giant stampeding fucking force, it's very there's a lot of space between all the cows, and most of them are just grazing on old ideas.
I have another question.
Not doing anything. Yes.
So I have been experiencing 3 extremely challenging things to deal with at once. Very challenging. And I'm taking it as an opportunity to remain as my true self and not worrying about the details and just staying with that.
Well, I know what helps me, what used to help me more than that would be seeing I'm not that which is worrying. Because I don't know if the worrying is going to stop or that
Well,
you,
what I'm trying to tell you is I wasn't worrying. I wasn't ruminating at all.
great,
And some things seem to work out miraculously. And I think it's because of that. Because I decided, I don't know if this is the same thing you're saying, but I'm going to render to Caesar what's Caesar's. It's not my problem, but I have to deal with it. And
yes.
I just wondered, I hear a lot of, I'm not Christian, but I hear Christian friends talk about feeling tested. Do you think that's a thing? Because every day could be a test, but then not just the big things, right?
Well, you
And
know
that-
what? I believe the idea of being tested is more based on the you.
Mm,
Yes.
okay.
So sometimes a you to become a better you has to look at situations as being a test in the process of becoming a better, bigger you or a better you. Yeah. I think there's a statement in AA which was, God's never going to give you more than than you can handle. Yes. But a lot of times that seems like it's not true. So my idea is God's never is I lost it anyway.
It's all right. I know what you mean. And
God is gonna.
if you don't handle it, then you don't handle it.
Yeah, like God is never gonna give you anything that it can't handle. So yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I don't see now. I don't see much. I don't see things as a test. No, but I did. Yes, in the past, maybe. Yeah.
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 I just see it as life.
Yeah.
So today I was trying to explain to my boss, I'm self-employed, but I have a major client, and explain why I hadn't been available as much. And I was explaining that I was in the middle of a whirlwind of experience and just trying to stay conscious through it all and open, which is the opposite of how I used to respond to things. And this fabulous metaphor just was served up. And I typed a text to him that said the eye of the hurricane is where the stillness and the peace is, because that's been the sense that I've been trying to, not even trying, just staying there. It's like a different concept of centered than I ever used to have.
Well, I think there'll be a lot more downloads around that. So
Thank you.
yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah. There's a thing in recovery that they say, and this is all observation, you'll realize you can face life successfully by sort of going against the warnings of the thought system And this is a way of transferring from a state of trusting the finite self into a state of trusting the infinite. Yes? You see demonstrations of it. And those demonstrations set off effects for quite a while sometimes in the action figure world. And you're brought into new conditions which have a basis of being content and satisfied and sort of at ease instead of being provoked by anxiety and a lot of thoughts about what's not happening. Yeah. It's nice to honor it and to, put up a mobile temple, because the head will forget a miracle in a half an hour and will keep remembering a seeming slight for 40 years. You don't, so as an antidote to that characteristic, it's nice to honor when things work out. Yes. Without you having
Absolutely.
anything to do with it. So I'm a big believer of honoring the demonstrations of perhaps there's a different way of living. And in recovery, we break it down as an action figure with trusting the infinite rather than finite self. Yes. So basically, you learn about the disease, the real occupation or the addiction of the head is demonstrated by an addiction to the thoughts about Paul, about the action figure, about the doer, the thinker, the feeler, the taster, the toucher. And that addiction, when it's broken, it's not going to admit that it's broken. So you have to honor the demonstrations of its brokenness. It's not going to relish in that defeat. Yeah, it's going to try to forget it and just move on to the next calamity. But there's a pause where you can honor that demonstration. And I think it brings out the best in an action figure, which is an attitude of gratitude and a sense of wonder and awe. AWE, I got to spell the words right.
That's about where I am. Gratitude and awe. And
Well, there you go. That's a really, like a bath, just sit in that, man. Because that's quite contrary to the narration in the head. Yes. It wants to move on to the next thing.
I
Because-
think that the narration in the head, it just occurred to me, really, it feels like when you can come out of it, and it feels like coming out of a drunk, I think. Not that I have a lot of alcohol experience, but it's like coming out of being numbed.
Yeah,
a
it's a
sense.
trance. It's like a trance. Yes. Yes. Because see,
Trance, yes.
what it's trying to make so can never be so. So it can only make it seem to be so. So it's on and on and on. And so when you see the head's obsessiveness, it's really to reinforce the identification as this long-lasting, independent, separate entity. It doesn't give a shit what it's obsessing over. It's the obsessing over it reflects the idea of you. Yeah, this imagined you. It's an addiction. It's addicted. Yeah, it's not you. It's never been you. The mental activity is addicted to the ideation of self. Yeah. And it leads to wanting to get relief, and they have produced other addictions because obviously the diagnosis is wrong. Therefore, the solution becomes part of the problem. So when I was young, the solution to this unbearability or feeling like claustrophobic in my own head, just being like a planet that everything was revolving around, I needed drugs as like a medicine to give me a
I
little.
understand.
Yes. So, but the problem was the one that was presented as the one getting the relief was the fucking problem once again. I had no idea that there was an identification as something that I'm not, masquerading as me, until I did have that idea. And when I saw it, I've never not seen it ever since. Yeah. So, yeah. People, this is what happens in AA. You know, people think it's the drugs and the alcohol. They are just symptoms of an underlying cause and condition, which is this identification as self. And what does self represent? It's pictured as a body, but what it represents is being the doer, the thinker, the feeler, the taster, the actor. That's what it represents. The body is used to represent all these activities that are being claimed by the mental state, and then being attributed to the body as being the doer, the thinker, the feeler. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And this is what non-duality negates. It negates that the perceived is that which is perceiving. It negates that. It will bring into stark contrast the understandings, so that you can see the true misunderstanding, and that is the one who has the understanding, and the one who doesn't have an understanding. That's the biggest misunderstanding. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, non-duality, not for me, as me really, has been the last answer, really. And I know that over time, because I haven't looked for any other answer concerning this topic. Yeah, it put an end to all of that looking and seeking. Yeah, and I'm open for another answer to show up, but nothing showed up for years and years and years. I mean, both doors are open, it could come in. So basically, I feel confident of saying it's the last answer, which is an incredible answer in this place of time and duality, I'm telling you. So nice to thank you for taking this opportunity to share, honey. And yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, hold on.
Oh, that's not a cat.
No, this is the dog. This is the monster, Lola.
Hey, Lola. Lola.
She's busy being loved. That's her main occupation. Yes. There she is again. Hold on. Now she's sitting. Yes.
Mhm.
This is our little I don't know what she is, man. She's a great dog. So yeah. Anyone else?
I am gonna mute Lynn. Can you say something? Because Jack detected an echo, and I could also when I turned my volume up.
Hello?
I don't think. Where's Amelia listening from?
She's not. She's listening from the same room. She's
Oh, so
in.
that's
She's making
probably-
dinner.
No, I am connected, but.
Oh, you are connected. Oh,
It stopped.
Yeah.
she's gonna. It stops. Yeah, she shut it off. Great.
No, I don't have the audio on.
Oh, she didn't have the audio on. Okay, great.
We don't hear it now, so I think that was somehow it. Okay, never mind.
Well, I think that's it, eh? Let's
Yeah.
Look at, she's basically saying it's over.
She's pretty quiet.
I know, but she's getting very impatient. All right, so listen, hey, thank you, Mike, for always all the stuff. Also, we've gotten the dates pretty much for the next retreat in September. So
Oh wow, where?
what's
You
gonna
have a
be in-
place?
it's gonna be in Sicily.
Really?
And what's the date, hun?
From the 15th to the 23rd of September.
September 15th to the 23rd.
Awesome.
So it's basically a vacation in Italy disguised as a retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Sardinia, Sicily or
No, we're
Sardinia?
going to Sicily, not Sardinia.
Okay,
It's going to be on the north and not that far from Palermo, but obviously on the coast. So we'll fly into Palermo and we got Mauro's working on it. Yeah.
Nice.
At the White Lotus Hotel?
No, God.
No, no, but it should be pretty cool. We had a wonderful time last year in another province. We're gonna go to Sicily. Because everyone wants to see Sicily, I think. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
nice water.
yes. I'm gonna hopefully become the oldest person ever joining the mafia. Yes, when I get over there. Yeah. I'm gonna become a made man.
You're not Italian.
But I'm with an Italian woman.
Yeah, maybe.
That makes you a half Italian at least.
I'm half Italian. My name over there is Pool Heddermano.
You're from Brooklyn, that counts.
That's what they call me.
No, he's from
Pool.
Long Island.
Oh, never mind.
I'm not from there. No, I'm from Ireland.
Island.
So, but whatever. Well, we're happy about it, and I hope Anu and everyone else is going to come again, and if we don't get enough people, we won't do it like last year. Oh, Amelia wants Mike. Yeah.
I think you guys should go anyway, and then everybody that can come, you're gonna be there anyway.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna be there anyway. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. All right, so let's say goodbye. Thanks, Mike, as always. Bill Churchman. Pleasure. Steve, Cole, San Diego. Nice to see you guys. Kathleen, as always. Yes. We got our friend from down under. We got only one Melbourne. David is here. No, we got Craig's Closet. He's here too. We got Hari. Hari, how are you? Nice.
We want Harry in Italy too.
Are you driving a car or something? No. I can't hear you.
I just finished a 12-hour shift and I'm on the couch in the lounge, just sacked out. I couldn't drive home. I just wanted to listen to the broadcast.
Oh, great, honey. Hey, give us a call sometime soon, eh?
Can you tell
Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
calling you soon.
All right.
Can you tell Harry we want her in Italy too?
Oh, yeah, Hari's going
Thanks.
to Italy this year.
Thanks,
Yes,
Amelia.
September.
Sorry.
Irene, nice to see you, Irene, again. Thank you for your presence at the meeting. Very nice. Anu, as always. Andy, nice to see you there. We got Marty. Marty, we're gonna get better. I think it's the Marty I'm speaking to. We're gonna sign up for double the Wi-Fi, so it should start working better. Yeah.
Doing great, Paul. Thanks.
Yeah. We got Jack. He's in Cape Cod somewhere. Jed, formerly John, now known as Jed. Craig May, how are you? Yeah,
I'm good, mate. Thank you.
all's well. Always a
All's
pleasure.
good. Thank you, mate.
We got Grateful Dave. Esteban. Yeah, I may need you in Italy, Esteban. Yeah.
Especially in Sicily.
I may have trouble with old scores having to be dealt with.
Ovidio consigliare. Il
All right,
consigliare, guardia del corpo.
All right,
Guardia
good.
del corpo.
All right, good. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna need you, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All right, good. Gary C. Nice to see you, Gary. Gary's been with us the whole time. Fantastic.
Quite a run.
Really
Thanks.
appreciate it. Yes, yeah, it's still going. We got Tyler and Mendocino. Nice to see Tyler. Clifford, Chiang Mai. Always a pleasure, Clifford. We have someone in Chiang Rai. Tom in Chiang Rai. Wow. At the next door square of Clifford in Chiang Mai. Now we're gonna go to Maggie in Shanghai. Shannon C. Nice to see you. There she is. Shannon's gonna come to Italy this year too. I got a feeling. Yeah. We got Teresa. Nice to see you, Teresa. Thank you for your share and the presence there. Deborah from Alberta, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome. We got Andy, Marty, Jack, Jed, Craig. Let's see, Warren. Nice to see Warren. He should be laughing. It's good. We got Mia. I see Deborah. Elliot. Nice to see Elliot. How you doing, Elliot? All right? Oh, good, good. Miranda. Yes, very nice. Semanti. Semanti, nice. Thank you for whatever. Good to see you. Bruce, as always, Miss Amelia, she's cooking up a storm. Susanna, Susan K, my latte lady, Lori. If I missed you, I apologize. We'll see you soon. If you're interested, we have a live meeting in Marin City this Saturday at 1 with the Zoom. Oh, no, it's at the house. Sorry.
Wilmac House.
It's at the house. Yeah. It's at our house, 1 o'clock. Yeah. And then the Zoom. So, and then just go to Zen Bitch Slap events, and that's all the Zooms have the same room number, no passwords necessary. See you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Paul.